How's everybody doing tonight? This is your boy Dom Ricci. We are here doing the UFC 249 weigh-in after the weigh-in. You guys know what we've been going through with everything and with the virus and stuff. I know there hasn't been much sports going on. I know there hasn't been many things going on, so everyone's looking forward to this UFC. But I got two guys coming in tonight who are the co-hosts and part of our BetWise Sportsnet family. That virus, no virus, rain, shine, snow or sleet, they are UFC fanatics. They live, sleep, and breathe. Say that 10 times fast. UFC. So let's bring them in. They got some special guests tonight. They're gonna go through all the fights. They're gonna let you know what's going on for tomorrow night. I believe the preliminary start at 6:30. So they'll key you and all in on that. But first, let me bring in host for the UFC weigh-in after the weigh-in, Boston Nick. Hey, Nicky.
What's up, boys? What's up, Dommy?
How are you tonight, Nick?
Hooking and jabbing, sticking and moving as usual. Getting ready for
what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. Even I'm excited for you tonight. You guys, I know you guys are ready to rock and roll.
I'm turning you into an MMA addict. Trust me.
Right. You'll get me there. You know how us old guys, us old beauties are hard to crack, but we get there. Let me bring in your co-host and another UFC aficionado, and that is our boy Joey Werk. Hey, Joey. Joe and DC in the house. Hey,
Joey.
Good to see you. How's everything going in New Jersey today, Joe?
It's going.
I hear you, man. We're not far apart. I understand, man. It's unbelievable. But hopefully we're getting out of this little by little. Thank goodness there's some fights on tomorrow night to watch. I'm sure you guys are excited. So what I'm going to do is jump back out into the chat and jump behind the scenes and make sure everything goes okay. And these guys will take you through the show. So enjoy yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys in a little while.
Later, Dommy Gun.
All right.
Thanks, Dom.
Get out of here.
All right, first up here, we got, Ryan Spann, Sam Alvey?
We do.
What are you thinking here?
I mean, looking at it, Ryan Spann is obviously the only side I would go, but he's minus 420, so that's crazy talk. Obviously not going to lay that. And under-over is a round and a half. So I know Spann's on a 7-fight win streak, 4-0 in the UFC. His last 10 fights, only 3 got out of the first round. So he's been, finishing people and, really ending them fast. I know that's why it's over 1.5. Sam Alvey, obviously, smiling Sam. Love the guy.
Very nice dude.
Yeah, love the guy. 33-13 in the UFC. I mean, in his professional fights, he's 6'2". So Spawn has a 3-inch height difference and about a 6-inch reach advantage.
Big.
Alvey has got knocked out 2 of his last 3. He lost 3 in a row, and he's 10-8 in the UFC. So I think this is he's definitely on a downward.
Joey, do you think that this him being at 205, because we all know Alvey is a natural 185er, right?
Yep.
Him being up here at 205, he's lost 2 of his last 3, which means he could be on the chopping block losing his job. That being said, we got Spann coming in here as a new hot gun on the rise. I kind of feel like it's a setup fight for the UFC for Spann to get a W.
Absolutely.
Can't take Spann at that price, but I do like Spann inside the distance at minus 125. It went down from last night. I think it was 135 last night. So I didn't bet it yet, so thank God. Saved about 10 cents there on the dollar. I do like Spann inside the distance at minus 125. What do you think about that look?
I definitely like that look. I just wrote it down and put a star next to it.
Awesome.
I was trying to find a way to get on him, but I think you found it. I think
it's too risky to take him by just knockout because he could submit Alvey, even though Alvey's only been submitted, I believe, either once or none in the UFC or in his career. But Spann is bigger and crafty, so I'd rather just save a little bit of money and just in case that happens. You know what I mean?
Yep. Awesome. We got our guy Matty Money in the house. What's up, Matt?
Matty. What's up? You want to touch on this fight real quick?
There's Frankie too.
Hey, Frankie, and we also got, for everyone, former UFC fighter, one good friend of mine, Frankie Perez. What's up, Frank?
What's up?
What up? Honor, brother. I followed your career. I can't remember if it was a first or second round knockout, Sam Stout, but you starched him quick. Was it first or second?
Yeah, first round.
First round. Yep. Okay, I thought it was second. All right, first round. Welcome in, guys. Pleasure to have you, Frankie. Maddie, as always. What do you think, Maddie, on this the Span fight?
To be honest, I know that you guys were just talking about Span, but I kind of like Alvey in this fight, especially at him him coming in at plus 325. I mean, that's honestly great odds because I'm not gonna lie. When I used to watch Sam Alvey, I was never a fan of him. You kind of really dismiss him really quick. He comes in with the dad bod, he's smiling. You're like, who the hell is this guy? And then all of a sudden, he knocks the guy out with like just catching him on the chin or grazing him on the chin. I mean, the dude's 100% got power in his hands. But I feel like the past couple of fights, down at wherever he was, 185, he was kind of getting into these like wars, just hoping that he lands first, hoping that he grazes the guy, and he was coming out on the wrong end of things. Mm-hmm. I do think that 100% this is kind of like a do or die fight for him. Wherever he's going to land in 185, 205, it's a do or die fight for him. He's got to win this. And I was kind of like looking at Ryan, and I was like, how has he proven himself here? Yeah, he's got knockout power too, but give me a notable win or two that he's had. So I'm kind of leaning Alvey on this fight. Not that I would lay big odds on it, but I mean at plus 325 to throw,
You're right. Lines are way off completely. You know what I mean? But I just don't. I see Alvey
I'm not 100% sold. I like it a little bit.
Okay, you gonna bet it or no?
I'll probably throw something on it, but definitely, not a lot.
Word.
Frank, you got anything?
Yeah, you got anything on this?
I like Alvey, period. I'll be honest. I'm not a big betting guy. I let these guys go at it, and they always ask me, what are you drinking, a beer?
Oh, me, yes.
Oh. Look like a fucking urine sample from over there.
It's 8 ounces. You're right. It is an 8-ounce glass. I got big hands.
Fucking quarantine's getting to somebody. But I like Alvey. I think Alvey is very underrated, like Matt said. And you just never know with him, man. You just never know. He's tough. He's like the gatekeeper up there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can get through him, you got to be pretty good. And he's like a do or die kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's always got something in the tank. So
do you think the weight differential is going to be, because he's really a true 185er, and he still has a dad bod at 185. But do you think that the size difference is going to matter or no?
Nah, I don't think so. I just think he just gets hit too much. That's his problem. He doesn't move his head. He's very basic on his technique. But I think he'll be able to accommodate and I think he's going to win.
Roger that. Joey, what fight we got up next?
Next, we got Charles Rosa versus Bryce Mitchell.
Yep.
Rosa 3-2 last 5, 3-3 in the UFC. He is 5'9", 69-inch reach. Taking on Bryce Mitchell's 4-1 last 5, 3-0 in the UFC, not including his exhibition on The Ultimate Fighter. He's 12-0 professionally, 5'9", and has a 1-inch reach advantage. I think I'm on this already. And Bryce Mitchell minus 150. I'm laying at Rosa. I mean, he's lost a lot of tough competition on and off recently, but I basically think this is another build me up for Bryce Mitchell to try to get his name out there, thug nasty, and keep him on his win streak.
Okay. What do you think, Manny?
I see this. This is actually one of my favorite picks of the night, not Bryce Mitchell, but going the other way.
Thank you.
Rosa.
Go ahead.
I think
break it down.
And honestly, I haven't seen these guys fight that much. I haven't watched their fights all the time, but one major thing sticks out to me in this fight. That Charles Rosa went 3 rounds and went to decision with Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez. And
he beat him in the 3rd round.
And that dude comes in there and throws everything at you. He throws everything he's got. Some crazy shit that you've never seen before. So in my mind,
that was in 2015. That was 5 years ago.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
doesn't matter. 5 years ago, I was 30 pounds lighter. It does matter.
Yeah, but Yair's been a monster since he got in the UFC. Yeah. So in my mind, if he can get through 3 rounds of Yair throwing everything he's got at him and throwing these crazy kicks and punches and striking and all this stuff. In my mind, this is going to be a walk in the park for him. I mean, he's definitely going to be able probably to outstrike Mitchell. So what has Mitchell got? Is he going to go and take him down? Is he going to win with wrestling? Probably not.
No way.
So this is, I mean, going through the fights, this is one of the 3 fights that I starred on one of my favorite picks, Rosa.
I like Rosa too.
You do?
And I'm sure you'd like him, Nick. He's a Boston native, isn't he?
I'm a friend of his too.
I'll
get into it afterwards. Go.
So I trained Jimmy Hedis to fight him, and when Jimmy couldn't make it to the fight because he tore his ACL, I actually we had breakfast next to Rosa, and he was like, "Yo, what's up?" He was like the nicest, coolest dude, but he's very underrated as well, man. The kid's tough. I don't know too much about Mitchell. I know he's like a hillbilly from somewhere, and he just Arkansas, yeah, and he just kind of gets after it. But Rosa's tough, man, and I mean, his 3 losses are 3 very good losses. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's definitely set to be one of the highlighted prelims for sure.
Yep. I mean, you guys know him on Rosa. I got him at the plus 155 early on. I think he's taken on money since then. I mean, if you look,
I'm 35 now.
Okay. Now, I mean, Mitchell fought Bobby Moffitt, Tyler Diamond. I don't think Tyler Diamond was in and out of the UFC. And then who's the third? I can't even remember. But I mean, Charles Rosa is the type of guy with heart. He came in the Dennis Siver fight in his debut in 2014 in Amsterdam, cut 28 pounds 13 days before the fight, and made a competitive fight at Dennis Siver. In 2014, Dennis Siver was somewhat of a beast. That being said, like you guys said, the pedigree of fighters that he's faced in comparison, I think are much superior, and at the dog odds that we can get him at. And I think by decision is the way to play him to get even a little bit extra. I don't see either one of these guys finishing each other. I don't think Bryce Mitchell for sure is not going to finish him any type of way on the ground. We know Rosa's jiu-jitsu is a black belt and probably under a better belt. I think Bryce is a brown belt. So I'm all over Rosa, like you guys said, like stank on shit, plus 155.
Plus, I think he's getting better, with time. Sometimes you need some losses, but you also need some time away from the game a little bit in order to, sharpen up your craft. I mean, he beat Manny Bermudez, submitted him last fight, and Manny Bermudez was set to be like one of the next top tier guys. Like, he was submitting everybody in the first round, and he was he's a huge 145er.
Yeah, he came in 5 pounds overweight for that fight too, I believe.
Yeah, he made the last 2 weight cuts, I think.
Yep, and that broke the streak for fighters that are winning that weigh in overweight. I think it was like 8 fighters in a row.
He's big, man. That kid's bigger than me at 145.
I've never seen him in person.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So we got a almost consensus. Joey's going thug nasty. Mr. One Nut drill my ball sack. We all know that. You guys know that, right? He drilled his own ball sack. He has 1 testicle now, so that's not fair at the weigh-ins, guys. Rosa should get an extra, half a pound or something.
This rise is a whole nother issue. We need to talk about this. There's probably a testosterone issue in there. There's got to be something going on.
You never know. What we got next? Nico Price, Vicente Luque, Joey?
Yep, that's what we got. So Vicente 4-1 last 5, 10-3 in the UFC. He was on a 6-fight win streak before his last fight, which he lost to Wonder Boy. And he also beat Nico Price back in 2017 via darts choke. Nico Price 14-3. He is 3-2 last 5, 6-3 in UFC. They both have a 76-inch reach, and Nico Price is about 2 inches taller. His last 9 fights, none of them went to the distance for Nico Price. So somebody, I would assume, I think somebody is going to get knocked out, or this is going to end this before decision. But the odds here are
this is the kid that knocked out
minus 260. Right? Yes, correct.
You probably know what I'm doing in this one, Joey. It's similar to the first fight.
I'm off this one, but yeah, you're going to do Vicente within inside distance. Yeah,
minus 135. I think he gets him out of there. I don't blame people for taking that dog shot on Price whatsoever. He's an unpredictable fighter. He can get you out of there basically. I mean, we've seen what he did to Randy Brown. That was ridiculous. But I just feel like we know the better fighter is Vicente Luque. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping he doesn't slip on a banana and Price takes it. So price tag on Price is awesome, but I'm taking Vicente Luque inside the distance at minus 135. What do you think, Maddie?
I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, looking at this fight, I mean, Nico's so hard to call because he's like so back and forth. One day he's on, he knocks you out in the first round, and the next day he's getting knocked out all over the place. He fights like super weird. He's on the ground, and then he's scrambling, he's throwing wild stuff, he's backing up, he's coming forward. I mean, his last fight, I'm pretty sure that he was losing when Nico fought James Vick. I'm pretty sure he was losing that fight in the first round. He was on the ground, and he was. Yeah, and he hit some crazy up kick on him, right?
Yep.
That was how he won. So, and I'm pretty sure he was phased. He got knocked down. He was on the ground. It was like some last effort thing that he just threw some up kick and he won. So, yeah. and then watching Luque's past fights, I mean, the Mike Perry fight, I mean, that was an amazing fight to watch, but I mean, going from that, going to the Thompson fight, both those fights were absolute wars, and you just can't knock this guy down. This guy has like a granite freaking head. Like, to throw everything at him, and he's just standing there coming forward. Blood all over his face, nose broken, whatever, coming forward. So, I mean, I like Luque a lot. I don't like the odds on him at minus 265 or whatever he's at. So I love your look of him inside the distance.
Yeah.
Nico is a guy that we all know now can get finished. He can get knocked out pretty easily. He doesn't seem like he stands in there too long when he gets hit.
I have a question for Frankie.
I like that look a lot.
Frankie.
I'll probably definitely take that.
Yeah. It's one of my top 3 looks, so I'm hoping it goes through. Top 3 bets. Frankie, that guy just came off a bomb fight with Mike Perry, but he took a lot of damage, as we all know. Is that going to play any type of role? It's been, I don't know how long it's been, but do you think that's going to play any type of role in this fight?
It's questionable, man. Going to war and getting bloody and like digging deep on some of those fights, it could ruin a lot of fighters, but some fighters can do that every time, like Mike Perry, you know what I mean? You need a couple of screws loose, like. The fighters don't plan to go in there and do that. You hit cruise control and you get after it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's the grit of the sport. Okay. Could it keep him smart on the outside and really start picking his punches? Maybe. You won't know until maybe he had enough time off and he forgot that. You know what I mean? Like, not for nothing. These guys go to war and they feel that pain afterwards. It's like, fuck, man, that was fun, but I don't want to feel that shit again. You know what I mean?
Now, has Luque been in enough wars to be like, all right, this guy has already been in, it's not like that's his first war he's been in, so it's not his first rodeo, so to speak. So I don't think what I was getting at is I don't think that Mike Perry fight is actually going to, because I had a buddy that was saying it's going to pay dividends in this fight. I don't think it's going to. You know what I mean? I think he's already been in wars before that, and that's why he was able to go through that war. You know what I mean?
I think Mike Perry's fight was a good gauge on to see if this guy's willing to bite down and dig deep,
Awesome.
I don't think he's going to need that with Price, though. I feel like Price, right? I think Price is weak to the body. Randy Brown was putting it on him before he got caught, So I think Price is very – wastes a lot of energy, and he's not that calculated. And I feel like Luque is, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm going with him.
All right, you make me feel better. Good. All right. Joey, are you up here or did you already do this one?
I'm here. Next we got, I already talked about it, but move on to next. We got Ronald Souza versus Uriah Hall. Souza's 2-3, last 5, 9-5 in the UFC. He obviously fought in Strikeforce before the UFC. 3 of his last 5 went to decision. Uriah Hall, 15-9, 3-2 last 5, 8-7 in the UFC, and 4 of the last 5 ended before decision. This is kind of a toss-up for me. I don't like to bet on Uriah Hall. For some reason, I just have a thing against him after The Ultimate Fighter. I felt like he might have thrown the championship, but now you're seeing it, and probably not. Felt like he didn't keep his hands up that whole fight, and it really just got to me. And then from then on, now he's off and on. He's 8-7 in UFC. He's has a win, has a loss, has a win, has a loss. So I would lean Souza, but I haven't made a move on this yet.
A lot of money coming in on Hall right now. I mean, it's back to it's pick 'em right now.
Yeah, he was training. I know he went and trained by himself. Supposedly, he's been living in a gym by himself. So that's probably good. Yeah, that's probably good for him. But I just don't know how much.
I read an article that he only had one training partner, and if he only had one training partner, how much like grappling was he's going to be able to get in? I mean, we know Jacare just went 5 with Jan Blachowicz, right? Blachowicz, whatever you say his last name.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to be. I mean, at 205. So I mean, at middleweight, I mean, he should be able to take down Paul easy. You know what I mean? Put him on the fence, strip, inside like trick type of thing, take him down, make easy work of him. I like Jacare here, but what scares me is that first round power of Hall. I mean, he could put anybody out. We know that. You know what I mean? And that's what makes me apprehensive of jumping on that just yet. But I just I feel like no matter what, I cannot not take a shot on Jacare at literally it's pick 'em odds right now against Hall. Jacare Souza versus Ryan.
Yep.
Ryan.
Yeah,
I mean,
minus 115. Yeah.
Now it was minus 130 last night, I think. Now that it's pick 'em, now it's made my mind up. I am taking Jacare as a bet.
Yep. I mean, this is probably again one of my top 3 plays of the night. I love Jacare in this fight. I think he's not a guy that makes a lot of noise. He doesn't get talked about a lot. They don't cut promos for him or anything. But he's always there. And every fight that he has, he's always fighting the top guy in the division. No matter who it is, he's always fighting the top contender. And if you're really studying his record, I mean, he's got last fight, split decision with John. He went split decision. So and then I mean, you're looking at his record, split decision with Gastelum 3 fights ago.
Weidman.
Last time he fight Romero, he went split decision with Romero. And then, you can pick out where he got head kicked by Whitaker, but I feel like that was just a simple mistake. He obviously, just dropped his hand. The head kick went a little high, and it was just a simple mistake. But he got right back up. He got on the train. He started winning fights again. I think he's still a contender. I mean, he's proven that he's taken some big shots in his past. From Romero, the big punchers in the division, and it seems like he has a pretty solid, granite head. So I kind of love this play. I mean, to get him you said it's pick 'em now. The last time I looked, I think it's 130 or something like that. To get him at pick 'em, I think. I mean, Hall. I mean, who has Hall proven himself against, really? You know
what I mean? You do just if you do MMA math, you know what I mean? For this to be
anybody,
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Joe, you're right. You know what I mean? Do you guys like even Jacare to finish this fight at almost plus 200 odds?
I could see him finishing this fight standing up. I mean, obviously on the ground, but I mean, I think his hands are the most underrated thing, about him. He likes to bite down, like when he fought Weidman and shit. You know what I mean?
I think the problem is with him. I think he hesitates a little bit.
He hesitates a lot.
Yeah.
But Weidman was winning the fight until, Jacare just said, "I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep coming forward." You know what I mean? And that's when he kind of got that pressure that he puts on guys. Because he's bigger, he's strong, he's confident in his hands, which Uriah doesn't like pressure. Uriah doesn't like somebody putting that pace on him. It's his whole career. And I can say that I'm friends with Uriah. We're cool. That's my boy. But it's just a bad matchup for him.
It is. He's gonna be on his back foot a lot, right?
Yeah, Uriah likes to fight backing up. He likes to fight by the fence.
True.
When Weidman first beat him, when they came up in ring combat, they were like the guys. They were the next ones going to the UFC. And I remember the commission even talking about not wanting to put that fight together because they wanted them both to go. And I remember the commission telling me, Weidman, he'll never forget this. Weidman said going out there, he's like, "I'm going to go out there and finish this dude." And he did, and how he beat him was put him up against the fence, take him down and beat him up, Uriah does not like those dirty fights. He likes to stay outside. He likes to kick. He likes to punch. He likes, and when he fought, who did he get knocked out by? He got knocked out by, who's that good-looking Brazilian?
Paulo Costa,
the model.
Yeah.
When he was fighting him, that was even though he got knocked out, that was the best I've ever seen Uriah fight, actual fight. Like,
yeah, he did look good. You're right. He did.
Hit down on punches and throw and actually like bite down and get after it and say, fuck you. You know what I mean? That was the first time I ever seen him do that. And he looked great. He just got caught with a huge punch by a fucking behemoth. You know what I mean? But I don't see that happening with Jacare. Jacare is just, he's like durable, bro. He's like a piece of leather.
I mean,
Would
Nick,
you be surprised? No, I wouldn't.
Nick, as you're saying this, like I'm looking at it, and the last 5 times that Jacare has won, he's finished somebody.
It's
No,
what?
he's finished.
It's what?
Finished. Punches
Okay.
versus Weidman, Derek Brunson, head kick and punches, Tim Bosch, Kimura, Belfort, ground and pound, or an armbar. So the last 5 wins he's had. So if we expect him to win, he probably will finish him.
You know what? Let's put a plus right now. It's plus 175. I'm gonna put a half a unit on plus 175, and then put a full unit on Jacare, just to win outright.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
Joey, who we got next?
On to the girls. Carla Esparza versus
My
Michelle
side chick.
Waterson.
Karate hottie.
Karate hottie. Yep.
All day.
Karate hottie. Yeah.
Love her. I'll take Cookie Monster too, but I love her.
I think Karate hottie's going to lose the first round and then just put her on her 2 and 3.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
guys.
think this is going to be similar to the Page fight, where it comes in and Waterson proves that she's really, really tough and strong on the ground. And I think obviously Carla's going to try to get it to the ground. We obviously know that's the game plan. You know, she obviously cannot strike with Waterson at all on the feet. So I think it's going to end up in some kind of scramble. It's going to go to the ground. I think Waterson's definitely going to end up on top of her, ground and pounder, super strong, and then Carla's going to be a little taken back.
Okay. I like a draw here. You guys probably call me crazy. I think Carla wins the first 2 rounds off simple takedowns, and then we see Karate Hottie maybe piece her up and maybe threaten some sort of submission. I just see this as I like to look for one fight on the card that I could find a draw. You know what I mean?
We got odds on that. What's the odds on that?
Plus 4,000.
Jesus Christ!
Oh crap!
Yeah.
All right, it's worth a sprinkle.
Put a buck or 2 on it, and it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you put a $5 bill and that hits, and you're like, damn. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Yeah, it makes your night. Yeah.
But I do think. All right. Has Jacksonville adopted the new rules when it comes to the new rules, takedowns and all that stuff? I can't remember. If they haven't, if they have, I think that Hottie has a better chance. Karate Hottie has a better chance. I see her getting up, but I do see Carla just having too much ground control. You know what I mean? So I think she grinds out the first 2, and I think the third is somewhat interesting. But we'll see. I can't bet this fight. It's a layoff. I'm just gonna watch them just roll over each other with my dad. My dad loves chick fights. Oh, it's the only fights he watches. Nikki, when the girl's fighting, you know what I mean? That's what he says. So I'll bring Pops in for that one, and then leave the room so he can do what he wants to. But that's Timbo Slice for you right there, Timbo. That being said, I think are we all on Cookie Monster or no? You were on Karate Hottie, right?
I would.
Karate hottie. I just don't think Esparza's tank is gonna. I think what's her name? What's the Karate hottie's name?
Michelle.
Michelle, right?
Yeah, I think she showed a lot in her last fight with footwork and being able to play in the clinch a little bit and not get down and work her way back. But I think as far as strong, I think she's just too small for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, Esparza 3-2 last 5, 4 of last 5 to decision. Waterson 3-2, same 5 of last 5 to decision. So as you're saying, this draw, it's looking better and better as plus 4,000.
Right.
Carlos 6-4 in UFC. Yeah. Waterson 6-3. Waterson has a 2-inch height advantage. But they're spot on with reach. So if anything, I would take Waterson, but I'm probably off this.
A little couple bucks on the draw.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
If it hits, remember we gave that out here, guys.
That's right.
Right. All right. Who we got next, Joey?
Can we just skip this next fight? This is like
Alexei Olenek versus Fabricio Verdun.
Actually, I got a play on this one.
Oh yeah.
I actually do.
Taking within the distance, Fabricio Verdun.
No, actually, but okay, we'll see.
The boa constrictor. I mean, I like the boa constrictor. 3-2 last 5. He is 42 years old. This is a matchup of the 42-year-olds here. 3-2 last 5. 6-4 last 10. Fabricio's 3-2 last 5. 7-3 last 10. 3 last 5 to decision. Last 8 fights ended before the final bell for Alexi. He has a 3-inch reach advantage, and Fabricio has a 3-inch height advantage. Plus 270 for Alexi Olenek. You know, anything could happen. If anything, I would throw a shooter on that, but I'm probably off this one as well.
I am so off this one. It's crazy.
I agree.
I might even leave the room.
They both look like retired. They both look like retired high school football coaches that are still trying to make a run at something.
All right. Tell me how you really feel.
What do you got,
What's
Nicky?
gonna happen is Wardoom's gonna go for a heel hook and tap him.
Okay. All right. Well, that would fuck my play up because I got Verdun by KO or TKO, and that's at plus 155. I believe that.
It's a good
right.
I like the play.
I just don't. I think the jiu-jitsu will nullify each other. I really do, especially the layoff with Verdun and whatnot. Alexei Olenek, yeah, he's got the Ezekiel choke, but
I picked Verdum to win on my thing, but I would never lay. What's he at? Minus 350 or something? I would never ever put that down on him. In
inside, you can get it at minus 140, but I still think that their submission skills that they have, their jiu-jitsu is going to nullify each other, and where this fight stands apart hugely for people is this in the striking. I mean, listen, Olenek those big bolo punches, bro. Like
he's got like his head down. He keeps his head down at all times.
Yeah,
he's like the hunchback.
It's really actually hard to watch him on the feet.
Yeah.
It's like cringe.
It's like this. And he gas it really fast.
Like this.
It's weird. He punches it. He throws strikes to get try to get the takedown and try to get the Ezekiel choke is what he does to get in the clinch. And that's not going to work with Fabricio Verdun. We all know that. You know what I mean? It's a different level. This is a setup fight for Fabricio Verdun to come back to the UFC and make a run at the heavyweight title. They need action in the heavyweight division. We all know this. It's been the fucking saying for years. The heavyweight division is the weakest division there is. It's been better as of late, but it's still the weakest division they have in the UFC.
This dude's almost got like 70-something fights.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Who's that?
It's crazy.
58-13.
Yeah.
He has 70.
It's unreal.
He's got 72 fights.
Who's that?
Alexei Olenek.
Yeah,
The boa constrictor.
retired football player. Football player.
Who do you think wins this one though, Frankie?
I'm telling you, we're doomed by heel hook.
You call him the heel hook, huh? All right.
Yeah, Alexi just got heel hooked by Gordon Ryan in 13 seconds.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. When was this?
Before quarantine, like
Before he won his last fight versus Maurice Green, but right before that he lost by in a minute.
Yep,
Ryan,
I bet against
Gordon.
Green because I said Green is exactly what he is, Green, and that's the first and last time I'll ever bet on Alexei Olenek. So,
But I mean, if you look at Alexei Olenek, he was fighting in Russia, and he's fighting like 2-3 times a night. Like on October 4th, 2008, he fought 3 times in the same night and beat 3 different guys.
Against soccer dads.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
against Oleg
dads, soccer dads,
some guy
you know?
1-2, some guy 2-1, and then a guy 0-0. He just knocked them all out. Boom, boom, boom. Heel hook, whatever.
That's an easy
we're all that on the same bar tab.
God, Jesus Lord. All right, let's not. I don't hope that. Listen, Fabricio freaking sees this. He's coming after us. Lexi, he'll just. He'll do nothing. That being said, we got next up here. Is it?
It's Cerrone Pettis.
Woo!
Now we're into the money. Yep. Here, now is the main card.
Is that 72,
Actually,
right?
Is this the main card? Probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6. So this
No,
might
I
be the
think
last.
we got. Don't we have? Is it Hardy and DeCastro before that?
That's well. I don't. Mine's showing that Cerrone and Pettis is before.
Yeah, that's what mine's showing too.
I think
yeah.
Hardy is on the main card.
Main
because
card.
of his name,
That's
which
crazy,
is-
by the way.
which is wild. Is right.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
it's very disrespectful to Cerrone
Fucking-
and Pettis for what they've done. You know.
Joke me what they've done for the company. You got
Exactly.
the Wheaties, you got the guy, they had
Exactly. We're just taking this guy that's got 3 fights in the UFC just because he's Greg Hardy, just because he's been on the Cowboys and gotten all this trouble.
Well, no, don't get so crazy. So the prelims and everything's on ESPN, and then everything else on UFC
You
Fight.
know what? You're right. You're right.
So that's really the main event to the prelims.
Yep,
They always do that shit. They always try to bring people to
Gotcha.
In the ESPN contract, they need at least one big fight. That's why there's a lot of big names in that.
Gotcha.
I totally forgot about that, dude. I say that all the time. I can't believe I didn't. Yeah, that gets you to buy the pay-per-view card because that's going to be a banger. Go ahead, break it down, Joey.
Yep. All right. So we got Pettis versus Cerrone. Pettis 2-3 last 5, 9-9 UFC. Cerrone 2-3 last 5, 23-11 in the UFC. He has a 3-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. 4 last 5 for Pettis have stopped before decision. 4 last 5 for Cerrone, stopped by TKO. They fought back in 2013. Pettis won by a kick to the body. On this, I'm on under 2.5 at minus 135.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to win this fight. I think, these guys are both veterans and both can take beatings, and I anticipate that happening. But I don't know who's going to win. So.
Oh wow! I didn't know that much money came in on Cerrone. Holy freaking moly!
Yeah, Cerrone is now plus 120-ish.
I got him at plus 155 or 160. I got to double check.
Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't touch Cerrone right now with someone else's D and someone else pushing right now at those odds. But I mean, I would. It's weird. I wonder if you can actually, if Pettis will actually swing into the dog by tomorrow. I don't think so. He'll probably be in pick'em. What do you think here, Maddie?
I've been like back and forth on this fight like constantly. Like, well, one time I'm at like, oh, it's Cowboy. Next time I'm at Pettis. You know what the issue is that I always bet whenever I bet Cowboy, no matter what fight I bet him in, whether losing or winning, I bet him wrong. I bet him the wrong way because I always think I can get reads off him, what he's doing, how he's acting, if he's smiling, if he's friends with the guy, if he's not. It's so weird, but. The one thing that's kind of sticking out to me is that in his interview this week, he's been telling people that he can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. So he's kind of like I would expect he's whatever happens after this fight, maybe 1 or 2 more fights, maybe depending on how they go. But
of course he's saying that he just got a huge motherfucking payday. That check isn't clear yet.
You're 100% right.
Oh, I thought you were right. Cerrone ain't going nowhere. He's going to be fighting for another 5 years.
Cerrone's 37 or 38.
Cerrone wants out.
I think so too.
Seriously? He wants out?
Yeah. He actually said it this week in an interview with the guy Brett, who's the ESPN reporter or whatever his name is.
Brett Yakamoto. Yeah.
But yeah, he said that he admitted that he can see the light at the end of the tunnel. He doesn't want to take too much more damage. He wants to be around for his kid, blah, 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 no matter, so it's weird because it's like, does he want to be there? Does he want to not? And then he admitted he sees the light at the end of the tunnel that he's done like really no training camp for this camp because he's been snowmobiling or whatever he was doing after he fought Connor and, he's kind of was like, oh yeah, I train, I got a gym at my house, of course, but like, kind of just dismissed it. So I don't know. It's like, is he taking this fight seriously? Is he not? Is he just coming in for a quick payday? Like, does he, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, at this point, who cares if he wins or loses? Like he has no motivation. He's not making another run at the title. He's not doing anything. He's just coming in there for a paycheck, So does he want to win or not? It's so weird. I mean, If I had to bet this fight, I like Joe's bet. I like the under. I don't see it going the distance. I see it coming out and kind of being like a quick war and these guys going to town and someone getting finished quick. I mean, on the other end too, I mean, Cerrone's taking a ton of damage and Pettis is taking a ton of damage his last couple of fights. A ton of damage. His face has been a bloody mess every fight. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like where it goes, how it goes, I don't know. I'm probably off this one because I just don't know which way I would bet Cerrone, and I feel like it would be wrong whichever way I did. So if I played it, I played Joe's play.
What do you think, Frankie? Under
2.5.
I can go with that.
Yeah,
I can fuck with that. I feel like if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Pettis under.
Yeah, I think so too.
But we don't know how his nose is holding up. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a quick turnaround. He obviously didn't break it. if he's got that quick of a turnaround. Because when did he fight it? A month and a half ago?
Yeah, this is what he normally does. They fought in January.
2.5.
3.5 months ago. I mean,
End of January.
if he didn't, so he definitely couldn't have broke his nose because there's no way he would be fighting or even be cleared to fight right now. So
he bleeds a lot from his nose every time he gets touched.
yeah, so that might be a sensitive topic there. And if Pettis is smart, he'd probably go right after it and be on the jab right off the bat. He's definitely going to go after his body again just because he stopped him there once, and being that they're at 70 now, obviously hits harder. I think Pettis is a lot more confident at 70 than he was at 55. I think he's just more filled out. He's not so sucked out. Even when he lost, when he beat Tompkins, he was getting chipped up that fight, but I still feel like he's fighting like a man now instead of like that point fighter that he used to fight like.
Yeah.
And he's kind of towards the end of his career too. So towards the end of the career, I think like a lot of these guys are saying, "Fuck it, it's you or me."
Leave it all out there.
I'm regretting my bet now. With this is a fighter telling us this. I got Cowboy at plus 155, and now I'm starting to get worried.
I'm the worst picker though. I lose. I lose all the time. I'm the worst picker. That's why I don't bet.
Well, hopefully you change your Oh God, I don't have that much on. I put a little half uni on it. I just thought plus 155. That's just value on Cowboy. You guys don't think so?
At 155, yeah. Now it's at 120. Absolutely not.
Exactly. Okay. All right.
I just hope the Cowboy that wants to fight and wants to be there shows up.
He wouldn't take this fight after that. I think he got a little bit embarrassed in his last fight. And he's got something to prove. He's a bad motherfucker. We all know that. You know what I mean? He's got the most fights. Is it the most fights in the UFC right now?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Like most bonuses.
Does he have most finishes, or is he tied for most finishes?
One of the two. You know what I mean?
He's got both.
Both. Jesus. Yeah. I mean, Cerrone's a legend. He always will be. He'll be in the Hall of Fame for sure. All right, let's go to the next one. We got Greg Hardy versus York DeCastro. Break it down, Joey.
Yep, Greg Hardy 2-2. Last 5 with 1 no contest. He has a 4-inch height advantage. Jorgen DeCastro is 2-0 in the UFC. He's obviously 6-0, so he hasn't lost. He can take a punch, but this is definitely a little step up in competition here. He did have a really good last fight versus Justin Tafa that they were going back and forth. He was probably losing that fight, and then eventually came out.
I lost money on that fight.
Yeah. Eventually it came out and knocked him out, I think, in the first. But so that did prove, but otherwise he hasn't really fought any names that I've even heard of. So I think this is probably just another, here you go, Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
If you don't win this fight, like we gave you Volkov last time, you couldn't handle Volkov, so now we'll give you another step down, some Jorgen DeCastro, a little chubby guy that's freaking 4 inches smaller than you, that if you can't beat him, you don't deserve to be on pay-per-view anymore. This is what this is. You beat him, you go out there, please beat him. This is the third time they canceled 2 previous bouts of this fight. So they've been trying to get him this money milker, easy win for how long now? This has been going on. So this is the third time now, Hardy at minus 200 isn't terrible. It's actually down. It's dropping now. It's down to like minus 190. So I don't know. I'm not going to touch the total on this one. Obviously, Hardy probably knocks him out because I think DeCastro just stands there. Like even the last fight when he was fighting Justin Tafa, they just stood there and just threw bows the whole time. They're just throwing back and forth. And I don't think he wants to do that with Greg Hardy. So he might have a different game plan here. The under-over is 1.5 at minus 160. I don't know if I'm going to touch that either. But if anything, it would be Hardy or pass for me.
Yeah, I don't know. This for me, I probably am off this fight because I feel like it's just gonna, they're gonna come out, they're gonna just swing huge bombs, and whoever backs up or gets hit first or connects with the chin or goes down. I mean, it's hard to even bet on Hardy because I feel like this guy doesn't even know the rules. Twice. How many times you got to call this guy to the side and tell him the rules?
The inhaler thing is different, but the other one is just ridiculous.
Right. So was he beating Volkov the last fight and he got a loss because he need him on the ground?
Yep.
And then the fight before that, there was a no contest because he did something illegal.
He used his inhaler. He used his inhaler.
You're right. Yeah.
I think they should put all 4 of them in a cage and just let them battle royal. Sam, Alexi, Werdum, Hardy, and whoever that other guy is. Just put them all in a fucking pit and let them, whoever decides to climb out wins.
Yes, 4 times the pay. I like that.
DeCastro, though, on the other hand, he's got some serious leg kicks. I don't think Hardy's ever been kicked as hard as he's going to be kicked in this fight. And that could pay dividends. I mean, you can't fight if you can't stand. We all know that. And I'm not taking DeCastro by any means. I'm definitely not taking Hardy at minus 200.
DeCastro had a losing record as an amateur.
Yeah.
But you see that happen a lot sometimes. It could have been the matchup. He could have been so green to the point where he took the fight on. You know what I mean? So a lot. I don't put a lot on that on the amateurs, so to speak. It's more as pro fights. But I mean, like I said, I'm not betting it, but I wouldn't be surprised if DeCastro does win this fight. I would not be surprised whatsoever.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, not to change subjects, but I'm reading something now that somebody sent me, and it's Donald Cerrone saying, "I'm going in there to win this fight and say, hey, Dana, you got anybody for Wednesday? Because I want to be the first. I'm going to be staying in my RV, and I want to be the first fighter to bang 3 fights out in a week."
Yeah.
Wow.
So he wants to fight Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. Come on.
Hey, that says a lot, though.
If anybody's going to do it, he's going to do it.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Imagine that he comes in and just throws a head kick and just blonk, Pettis is out, and he doesn't get touched once, clears medicals, and he can fight again.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The realest and truest thing that Donald ever did and said and recorded was his video on what he feels when he comes out to a fight behind the scenes.
Yes, you're right, man. I know exactly.
That was so spot on point for I don't give a shit who you are, if you're the world champ or you're an amateur fighter. That's exactly what you feel every single time. And to hear a guy like that will fight 7 days a week, 365, say those exact words is so real and true to the testament of what, fighting is about. Even though he is fucking scared shitless, he is the only fighter I think that would do that.
Yeah.
3 times in a week. You know what I mean?
That's what he said, Frankie. You just nailed it. Like in that I think it was just a stream or whatnot, but he said he's scared shitless before going in a fight. You know what I mean? He wonders why he's doing this, right before the fight. Like, why the fuck am I here? Why the fuck am I doing this right now? And that's why I think he's a slow starter, because he's in his head first round. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? If this was a 5-round fight, I'd be all over Cerrone, all over him.
All right. Well, even if it is a 5-round fight, those first 5 minutes are a long motherfucking time, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and you can see it in his face. He's tight. He's tense. Watch any of Cerrone's fights. The second round, he comes out, he jogs out to the center and gets after it. Yep. First round, he walked out, and he's just tense. You can just see it, And I know the feeling, man. Going out there and saying, man, I'm about to get locked in a fucking cage and fight somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do that before. Now I'm doing it.
What's that experience like, Frankie? What does it feel like, seriously, for you?
But there's nothing like it. I'll be honest. No, I say it sucks, but it's like, let me tell you exactly what Cerrone said, man. It is the most I can't tell you how many times I said, this is my last one. This is it. I'm over this shit. This is stupid. This sucks. I don't know why I do this. I'm so dumb. And then I go out there and in the first round, I'm fucking scared out of my mind. And whatever, I fight, I win. And it's like the best feeling ever. You know what I mean?
It's the biggest adrenaline rush, right? It has to be.
It's the craziest. It's the craziest ride, man. Like,
no bigger high.
Experience with it too. You know what I mean? Some people are numb to it. Some people thrive in it. Some people are just scared shitless of it. Some of the best fighters in the world, you would never know they were the best fighters because they can't perform under the lights. But you put them in a gym and they're the best fucking fighters. You know what I mean? So every person's different, man.
I've never been in a cage. I've been in a lot of street fights, and I never was like a punk. I welcomed it. You know what I mean? I never started shit, but like even that, even those minute and a half, 2 minutes max, because that's what street fights last, is max 2 minutes. You know what I mean? That rush you get is just like ridiculous, and I can imagine, or I can't imagine what it feels like to be in an octagon with thousands of people around you, chant your name, just freaking. You know what I mean? That's got to be like,
especially when you have a friend named Joey Werk, it's even crazier.
You know Jared Gordon?
The what?
Jared Gordon?
Yeah, I know Jared. Yeah,
Jared
and I grew up in the amateur circuit together.
Oh wow, over in what's it called, Titan?
No, New Breed Fighters.
Okay, because I know he was over at Titan FC for a little bit, right? Too. I think.
Yeah, that's pro.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So we were like amateur. Like when I was 19 years old, like Jared was like, when I was on my way to turn pro, I was on my way to fight in Ohio, and Jared was coming up, and he was still going through all his time with, rehab and trying to stay clean and whatnot. And he was always super fucking tough. That kid fought the exact same way that he's fighting now is exactly how he fought in the amateurs.
Yep.
And how he was so successful,
Yep. I talked to him all the time. And him drop it down to 140. He asked me what he thought about the Charles Oliveira fight. Like 3 days before it was announced, I knew it was going to happen. And I wanted to fucking say something, but I couldn't. And because I'm an ex-act myself, I got clean in 2011. I still drink. I mean, but I don't do drugs. Thank you. He asked me if it was a good matchup or something like that, and I said, "You win that fight. You're leaping to the front. You know what I mean?" In hindsight, I probably maybe just said it wasn't a great matchup. I don't know why his manager did match him up. That's just too much because his real weight division, his true weight division, is 145. You know what I mean? It really is.
Yeah, I think that fight was better in a different time. I think he needed more fights. He doesn't move his head, and I've trained with Jared a couple times, and he gets hit a lot in training, let alone in his fights. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
He's just like that center block coming forward, and you're dealing with a guy, Charles Oliveira, who's fought some of the best. He's lost to some of the best, and he's beat some of the best. You know what I'm saying? So, and especially with him, he took a lot of time away from the sport, got his life together, figured everything out, and came back, and he's a force now, man. The kid's tough, man. He's always been good. He was in Ring of Combat too. He was a local fighter for a while before he got picked up by the UFC. And that dude's got a lot of fights in Brazil.
Yeah, right. He's fought every one of his fights in Brazil, right? Almost.
Yep.
He's fought in almost every single one of his fights in Brazil, almost.
Almost, yeah. I think he only fought probably like 3 or 4 times here.
Yeah, that's crazy with the amount of fights he has in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Yeah. Anyways, Jared Gordon's a good man, man. And he's fighting the good fight. You know what I mean? Not just fighting.
Yeah.
Who we got next, Joey?
Just shout out the chat. Shout out Maxwell Smart.
Yeah.
Dom Ricci in the house. Maxwell Smart's still on his diet. Good for him.
Maxie, Ragu. Thanks, guys.
Next, we got Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar. Jeremy Stevens lost 3 of his last 4 with 1 no contest. He's 15-16 in the UFC, but basically fought everybody in the weight class. Kattar has a 2-inch height advantage, 1-inch reach advantage. He's 3-2 last 5, 4-2 in the UFC, and this would be a big statement fight for him because Jeremy Stevens is no slouch. I understand he was 5 pounds overweight, but this man is no slouch. He fought Yair Rodriguez basically 1.5 times. He went to decision with him. He went to decision with Zabib, and then he lost to Aldo his last 3. So he's fighting. He's literally fought everybody. He is getting up there in age, 33, and he has how many fights? He's got almost 40 fights, over 50 fights almost. But if anything, I would honestly take the dog here plus 215 and Jeremy Stevens.
Especially being 5 pounds overweight. I mean,
that doesn't scare me.
No. I mean, it's a good thing right now.
Yeah,
70% of fighters are winning at a 70% clip. They're winning right now. Yep.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think, I know he's lost 3 in a row, but I really think the pressure is really on Kattar here because, he loses here, then it's a big step back for him, Jeremy Stevens basically has nothing to lose. He loses here, what? He's going to go fight in Bellator and still get paid,
No, they're not dropping Stevens if he loses here, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You never know. But.
He's a great – I mean, he's all right. If he was just like a wrestler, some slouch is just – not slouch, but just a boring fighter in general.
Yeah,
but still kind of, you know what I mean? But he brings it no matter what, win, lose, draw. So I think they keep him around. Calvin Kattar, I love him. He's a Boston. I don't know if you guys know, he's a Boston boy as well. But minus 250 is just crazy against Jeremy Stevens. I mean, plus 230, you're going to get Jeremy Stevens at now 5 pounds heavier. And he's not, guys, everybody watching, he's not going to just be 5 pounds heavier. He's going to be probably about, what do you think, Frankie? Anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds heavier?
Who's going to be 10 to 15 pounds heavier?
Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's got a dad bod too. I like Kattar in this fight though.
Yeah, me too. Odds are.
I see. I go off of. I'm not a bettor. I don't care. You know what I mean? But Kattar is super precise, super tough. Both of them fought my teammate Zabit, and I thought Kattar fought Zabit better than Stevens did. Stevens is, very
emotional. Third round, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very emotional fighter. He likes to, get down to, bite down and just close his eyes and swing, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I think Kattar is, he's young, he's sharp. He learned a lot with Zabit, and he's going to come in to prove a point. Jeremy Stevens kind of like that gatekeeper, or that, if you can get through him, it's time for a top 10 kind of fight, for you. So I like Kattar. He's a Boston native too, isn't he?
Yep. Yeah. Boston boy. Yeah. Yep. You think he gets it done inside?
I don't know about that. I mean, Jeremy Stevens is kind of tough to finish. Very tough to finish.
Yeah,
but
right.
I like Kattar. I've liked him since he beat my boy Shane Burgos. When he beat Burgos, I couldn't believe that.
Another Boston boy.
Burgos was on a tear.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed with him. I think he's very good. I think that kid's he's still got some time to shine. I don't think he's blooming just yet, but he's on his way up there, and I think he can definitely beat Stevens for sure.
By decisions, plus 125. By inside is plus 225. So, I might get froggy and take. I think the decision plus 120 plus odds decision is probably the way to go. That's what I'm going to take. Quick breakdown with me is Kattar at plus 125 by decision.
Who finished Stevens?
Huh?
Anybody finish him?
Yeah, Aldo did.
Oh, Aldo did.
A body kick, I believe, and then he finished it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he did.
Besides that, who? He's hard to finish.
Besides that, he hasn't got finished in a long time.
Yeah, because
Emmett
2012.
He knocked Emmett out, if you remember.
Who?
Josh Emmett. He hurt Lil Heaven and then knocked out Emmett and actually broke his entire face.
Yeah, the last time
to finish, man.
The last time he got finished was 2012.
Yeah, you see, like what Frankie
Yves Edwards.
Eve Edwards. Yeah.
Yves Edwards, yeah.
When Frankie fought him, Frankie beat him on just being more calm, because he just got emotional because he couldn't catch Frankie, and Frankie was just taking him down. You know what I mean?
Wait, Aldo finished Jeremy Stevens?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said he didn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, before that.
Before that, yeah. He's
only got finished 4 times out of his 17 losses.
Kattar by decision. I think I'm gonna jump on it. Not yet. I'll put it on Twitter, everybody that's watching. But I think that's a bet I'm gonna take.
Matt, you got anything on this?
Yeah, I'm actually with you, Joe. I like Stevens. I think he's hard to finish. I'm not taking anything away from Kattar. I think he's a really tough guy, and he's fought some really notable people, so you really can't dismiss him that easy. But I think Stevens, even though he has been losing, I feel like he is becoming a smarter fighter as time goes on. He is not that super, super old Jeremy Stevens that just comes out and he's looking for one thing only, and it's the knockout. I think he is understanding that he's running into people, that he needs to have different skill set. He needs to mix it up. And I think, like I said, even though he's been losing, I think he's just been slowly piecing it together. So in this fight, I don't think he's going to go back to the Jeremy Stevens of throwing everything he's got, just looking for the big shot, because I think that he's realizing that, he can easily swing the other way. And he's just going to get another loss on his record, and he doesn't need that right now, especially if he wants to continue his career coming off a no contest and 3 losses. Yeah. So I think he's going to be smart, and to play him at plus 205, I mean, that's an awesome play on Jeremy Stevens, a guy that's super hard to finish. So I'm going to be with Joe on this one. That's definitely a play that I'll be making on Jeremy Stevens. I also like Jeremy Stevens to finish at plus 305.
Whoa. Well, yeah, if he wins this fight, it's probably by finish, so I don't think he wins it.
I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Yep.
Good point. Yeah.
What's in your sippy cup, bro?
Whose?
Mine?
Yours, Kirch.
I have water. I don't have
water.
a sip.
Yeah, he drinks water.
You think he's gonna finish him?
Finish is going to be tough, because you know why? I feel like he's gonna mix it up, and he might use some wrestling. He might take him to the ground. He might strike a little.
I thought you said Stevens was going to finish Cater.
No, I said I like that at 305
Oh,
to finish him, but I mean, I also like Stevens at plus 205.
Yeah.
So my play is going to be Stevens at 205. I will not bet Stevens to finish. It will be with Joe plus 205. Stevens to win.
All right. On to the next one. We got Francis Ngannou versus, I don't know how to say his first name, Rosenstruck. Joe Rosenstruck.
Josino Rosenstruck.
So this is a very interesting fight to me. I'm very intrigued on this fight. Francis 9-3 in the UFC, 3-2 last 5-inch reach advantage. His last 3 have been knockout in the first round, but the UFC just gave him cupcakes and Junior Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez, Curtis Blades. None of those guys do it for me. I feel like this is the fight where Francis is going to be afraid, and he might just stand there like he did with Derek Lewis and them have a little dancing match at heavyweight, which sucked. The fight sucked. That fight sucked. But this is what I think Francis, might be a little afraid of this guy. I know Joe was probably going to lose his last fight, and then he knocked out Reem in like the last 5 seconds. I remember watching that fight.
One in my future kid's pocket.
Yeah, last 4 seconds, he knocked him out with 4 seconds left. He's 4-0 in the UFC. This is the third time this match has been scheduled as well. At plus 250, I'm on the dog here again. I'm on Joe. I really do feel like Francis is going to be a little skeptical here, like he was in that terrible Derek Lewis fight. And he might, Derek Lewis punched, 8 times in that fight, and Francis punched 5 times, and he got the win. That was the most boring UFC heavyweight fight, as we talked about, Nick, probably in the UFC history. But for some reason, I just feel like Francis is going to do the same thing. And I'm just on Joe at plus 250 to plus 240.
And I'll jump in on that because that leads me to my bet, which is you nailed it. I got the fight to start round 2 at minus 135. I think they stare at each other for the first round. They're both going to be scared of each other's power. And I do believe that at least it makes it out of the first round. You know what I mean? I wouldn't blame anybody. Actually, I might even jump out myself to fight to go the distance. You know what I mean? But I'm taking the minus 140. It's one of my I think Doc asked, Big Ragu asked some prop bets. That's one of my favorite prop bets is the fight to start the second round. Just simply because I think they're going to sit there, stare at each other, and just be a little bit gun shy for the first round.
I like it.
What do you think, Maddie?
I love that fight to start second round bet. I didn't even see that one to be honest, but I love that one at minus 135. That's like amazing. To be honest, I kind of was back and forth on this fight when I was looking at it. Though I'm leaning out Francis because I think that he is going to have the more versatile striking, where I feel like this other guy, he's throwing like just bombs, like there's nothing really to it. There's no combos. There's no nothing. It's just bombs.
But he throws them. If Derek Lewis would have thrown the same bombs that Jairzinho's going to, he would have probably had a chance in that fight and winning that fight. And I think Jairzinho is going to put him on his back foot, but he's a great counterpuncher, Ngannou. So, but go ahead. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's, like I said, I'm kind of torn. This is something that I'm not going to make a play on this one. If I made a play, I love to play fight to start round 2, but this is too tough. Anytime that you have 2 massive guys like this, and especially that you have a guy that's 10-0 that you just don't know how good he is because he hasn't had a loss yet, it's tough to call.
I agree. It's tough. With the power he has, you know what I mean? How can you not jump on it? And then with the power Francis has, how can you not jump on it? You know what I mean? So I hear you on the side.
It's tough to go against Francis when you look at his social media, and the dude is just a monster. Monster. Chisel that like 250, crazy.
Yeah.
Frank, what do you got?
Yeah, Frank.
I don't have Francis.
You don't like Francis?
I think this guy's going to go out there, try to prove something, and bring the fight to Francis. I think that's what people need to do, I think that's why, not Struve. The hell's his name? Who's the heavyweight champ? What the hell's his name?
Stipe.
Okay. You know, I think you got to go out there and fight him. You know, I mean, I definitely don't see this fight going the distance. Somebody's head's going to come off.
What's the odds on that to go the distance? It's something crazy, right? It's like minus 350 or something.
It's actually not as bad as you would think right now. Fight to go the distance. So, for instance, the over under the 2.5 is plus 165 for the over, and under is minus 227. So it's not as bad as you would think. You know what I mean? So at 350 for it to go decision and plus 260 fight. I'm sorry, to go decision is plus 260. No decision minus 350.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not laying that.
If it goes past the first round, it's going to a decision.
And Francis, his last 2 losses both went to decision.
Yeah.
So
I feel like a lot of people are going to gas on this card.
Yeah, you're right, because they weren't able to get the proper training, right, from what's going on with their training partner.
I mean, cardio is cardio, right? But I think like a lot of people are going to go out there trying to prove something because it's the first card like this.
yeah, there's so many people watching.
And so this is, dude. Like people don't realize, like this is the only sport
to watch
going on right now. The only thing on TV besides Netflix and chill. This is it. You know. Anything that's going on right now in the media is Instagram, Netflix, and fake news. It's crazy.
Yep.
So now they're going to break it up, and it's not Disney, and it's sports. Forget about it, dude. People are going out there to win bonuses.
Yep.
And
I hear you.
people are willing to sacrifice their gas tank in order to go out there and prove. Whoever wins it on this card from first fight to last fight, their social media is going to blow up.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. And do you think one thing real quick, as a fighter, do you think I need to ask you this because it's going to help me out. Do you think them being able to hear each other's corners is going to play a difference on how the fight goes? Obviously, right?
I don't think so. You hear you as a fighter, you're pretty well on zoning out and hearing your corner. Like I hear every word that comes out of my corner personally.
Do you hear the other corner?
I can hear everything.
Okay.
When it's close, like bro, I zone out so well, you know, and most fighters do. I think it's going to be awkward for them, you know what I mean? And as quiet as it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like you're going to hear you bouncing up and down in the cage. Like you're going to hear every like nick and cranny in that place. You know what I mean?
In the Brazil card, you heard it, remember?
Yeah. I mean, the guy farts in the front row and you're going to hear it. Like, it's just the bottom line. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, most fighters that have been doing this a long time can zone everything out and just hear, you know, the front row or hear your crazy best friend yelling, you know, in the front.
I just wonder if they are going to be able to know, like, you know, they could calling up combos and stuff like that, even though they're going to have codes and stuff, that they're both going to be a little bit gun shy of each other's corners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think what we're going to be able to hear more is the shots being landed. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to hear. And we're going to actually, whoever the commentators are, whether it's John Anik or Joe Rogan, and they're going to, oh, that's a good shot. They heard him. Like, we'll already know. We're going to know what shots are landed clean and what's brushed off. And
we're going to hear it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. That was big on my decision making this week. So I wanted to make sure that was correct. All right, cool.
On to the co-main.
Get done.
Co-main, Henry Cejudo versus Dom Cruz. Henry won his last 5. He basically handpicked Dom after I think Aldo either backed out or what. I don't know what exactly what happened with that, but he handpicked Aldo first, and then that didn't work out, so he handpicked Dominic Cruz, who hasn't fought since 2016, and lost to Cody Garbright. He does have a 4-inch height advantage, but I'm on Henry Cejudo. I'll lay the 230. I don't even care. I just think he's not going to lose this fight.
Joe loves him.
What's going on there?
I think this dude's the biggest dork in the UFC.
He might be. I actually saw Dominic Cruz when I was in California not too long ago. I went to a restaurant. I was leaving the restaurant, and he was outside. I said, "What's up, Dom?" He said, "What's up, man?" That was it, but that don't make me bet on him, you know?
6.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, he was a nice guy.
So Dominic Cruz, I'm actually I'm cool with him. When I retired, he actually defended me. And I went with my teammate Corey Anderson to the following fights because he was fighting. And he actually he was fighting I think Dillashaw on that card.
Oh.
And he respected everything that, like, backed me up and respected everything that why I chose. So that's why, like, Dominic holds a little special place on my team. You know what I mean? He's a pretty down to earth dude. You know?
Is he? I feel like sometimes he comes off as just kind of like pretentious a little bit, like he's the best. You know what I mean? But you never, I've never met him. Like, you know him. You know what I mean? So what the fuck do I know? I mean, what do you think? I mean, he's fought 4 times in 9 years, right? He hasn't fought in almost 4 years, right?
He hasn't fought in almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years, 4.5 years. So we got 2 knee surgeries in between that too as well. Well, 3 total, but 2 in between since he's not fought. I mean, everybody's talking about Dom's foot movement and whatnot, this and that. I mean, Henry's a faster when it comes to twitch muscle or muscle, whatever it's called. Do you really think that Dom's going to be the Dom of 2015, I should say, maybe?
Who's going?
Frankie, go ahead.
Listen, man, I think Dom's got it figured out. I mean, my Marlon was putting it on Henry, and Marlon needed time in order to be in that fight. I think he needed at least 1 or 2 more fights. What happened with Marlon was he had quick finishes. He was very confident. Leading up to that whole camp was phenomenal because he was still with us. But I feel like his confidence he was so confident in being able to knock Henry out that when he couldn't, that alone takes a lot away from somebody. When you hit somebody with the cleanest shot that you got,
they don't go away.
Put everything behind it, and they just look at you and smile. Just that alone, he didn't even hit you yet, but just that alone takes all the energy away from you. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're stuck, you got 3 more minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I got to figure this out. So what I liked in that fight was Henry showing, Henry can adjust, and that's what makes a great fighter great, is adjusting to things that aren't working. Now, when it comes to this fight, what Dom can do is adjust and also stay on a game plan. He lost to Cody, but I think he lost to Cody because he got overzealous and a little too confident. And Cody did exactly what he needed to do: stay in the pocket and be, 3 and 4 punches after Dom's 1 and 2. You know what I mean? And that's where he was catching him. He was counter fighting him. Exactly what he needed to do. What I think that Henry might do is throw a lot of leg kicks this fight and try to slow Dom down. But honestly, Dom was on a big layoff when he came back and beat TJ.
True.
Controversial. It was close.
Yeah, very.
I mean, coming back from 2 knee surgeries and coming back and being world champ, I mean, that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
now he's 5 years older, right? Almost.
And smarter.
Okay.
Besides Dom being an athlete and a great fighter, he also knows the game in and out.
He's been commentating, so you're looking at it from that side of the cage for a while. I mean, that does help, I would imagine, right?
There was really no build-up either, to get emotional. So that takes a big part of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys all just talking back and forth. It gets you all ramped up. There really was none. Even at the weigh-ins, like
Henry made pillows.
Yeah. I mean, corny, like whatever. Yeah. I mean, whatever to get paid, I guess. Whatever, but like he's corny about it. This whole cringe thing. He's dumb. He looks like he's gonna cramp up one of these times.
Oh Lord, yeah, he did. I thought he was gonna shit himself when he was like, ah. I think Dom said it too. Did you shit yourself? Yeah. I laughed. That's what he said. I played it 20 times. I couldn't. If that's what he said, that's hilarious. Oh, I give it to Dom for that one.
I like Dom.
So does Dom, by the way. Dom Ricci in the chat. He goes, never not bet on a guy named Dom. You like him inside or you like him by decision?
Decision. Bless me.
Bless you. Oh, if you like him by decision, you can get Dom at decision by. Let's see what we got here.
Maddie, what do you like on this while I was looking that up?
Go ahead.
I like Dom as well. I think, I don't know. Dom, I mean, at one point, this dude was the king. I think no one's even kind of dismissing that. It's like this dude was the king of the kings at one point. and Cody just kind of knocked him down a little bit. But, that was a fight that he kind of got pulled into, and I mean, Henry just hasn't proven himself to me. And everyone's going to bring up, as soon as you say that, they're going to bring up, he beat Don,
Marlon's a great fighter. Great fighter.
Everyone's going to say that he beat Demetrius Johnson, but okay, great. But Demetrius Johnson is a guy that wanted out. You could tell he wanted out, The second he lost, it was like, oh, I'm out of the UFC. I'm going somewhere else, So
they dissolved the 125 division for a while, so he had to kind of make a decision, I think, or they were going to dissolve it. And then they brought it back. It's just nobody could beat him, and then someone finally did, and it's weird that they decided to dissolve it then when Henry beat him. I don't know why we didn't get a rematch, because that was super close. I don't know if you guys. I
don't think Johnson wanted the rematch. I think he was out.
You're right. It's weird.
He just didn't want to re-up his contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He probably got a nice little paycheck to go to one or whatever he got.
Oh yeah, they probably paid him. Really? Oh wow.
That's what I mean. So in my mind, there was something going on, because when I watched that fight, Demetrius Johnson wasn't there. He was not there for that second fight. There was something like, I don't care. Like, everyone was like, oh my God, Henry stripped the belt away from him. He friggin' put on a masterful performance. Like, Demetrius Johnson wasn't there no more. He gave up before that fight even started.
I think he got frustrated and then in that fight and then gave up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he kept getting taken down. I mean, even though Henry didn't do much for the takedowns, he just couldn't stop from getting taken down and starting his own game plan up. So I think I don't like to use the word quit too much, but I think he kind of gave up in that fight. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, I'm all over Dominic. Like I said, I mean, to get him at what is he at, plus 185?
A little bit better, but by the way, plus 270 by decision. So
okay, but to get him straight, what is he at straight?
85-ish. I think the consensus right now is
between 180 and plus 200.
That's ridiculous. Exactly. That's ridiculous to bet friggin' Dominic Cruz at plus 185. That's crazy odds. So definitely a play that I'm going to be making. I'm with Frank on this one.
I'm on Henry, and I'm on it inside the distance at plus 175.
Wow.
I am. Taking a shot at Henry inside the distance. I might even put him in a parlay piece. I just, from like the workouts I've seen, what I've been able to find, you know what I mean, which is not too much, but enough, I think. He just doesn't go hard in the workouts. I just don't think he's going to move the same they did 4 or 5 years ago. And I really like Henry. I mean, I rewatched that Marlon fight today 3 times. And the amount of leg kicks that Marlon landed on Henry, you would think that any human being would be able to stand after the second round, after the first round. It was unreal. I thought he was not going to be able to walk. I was like, I bet on Marlon that fight. I lost money, and after the first round, I was like, man, this is money in the bank. Like seriously, I really thought that. But he adapted real quick, and I don't like how there's a 6-inch reach advantage. I know that Cruz is 2 inches taller than Marlon, so it's a little bit different when it comes to size and stature. But I don't know. I just think that overhand right that he has, that short popping overhand right that Henry has, is going to end up landing and at least dropping Dominic. He might not finish him, but I'm going to go for that plus 175 inside the distance. I don't see any value at minus 200.
You got to remember, too, that Dominic is such a weird fighter. There's no one like him. His footwork is weird. His shots are weird. Everything this guy does is weird. So I'm kind of like leaning now even more towards him because, it took Henry the second fight to get used to Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius Johnson is a little weird, too. So it took him that extra fight to get used to him, to know what to do, to know how to counter what he's doing.
Like Clinton said in odds.com's breakdown that we did, if we see just 90% of what Dominic Cruz's best, like just 90%, Henry's in for a long night. But if we see 75% from Cruz, it's Henry's night. You know what I mean?
That's a great way to look at it. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. So I just like Henry here. I've never bet on Henry ever. Okay. So this is my first time betting on him. I'll probably lose it. We'll see. Jay got K on him. You know that, right, Joey?
What's up?
Jay from Sports Keg. He's got 4K on Henry at minus 195.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, he does those big boy bets.
Good for him. Good luck. I'll probably be on the same side, but not 4,000.
No. I'm gonna just take just a 1 unit on the plus 175. You know what I mean? Try to bring back almost 2 bills. We'll see. Let's see what the chat got though, real quick. Oh no, it's just Dom again. You always bet on a Dom. All right, what's up next, Joey?
Shout out Alex Ramirez as well.
Yeah.
You got the main event: Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje. Ferguson 25-3. He lost. His last loss was in 2012 to Michael Johnson. 3 of his last 10 went to decision. 2 TKOs, 3 decision, 5 submissions. Last 10 wins. He has a 6.5-inch reach advantage. Justin Gaethje 3-2 last 5, 4-2 in the UFC since coming over. He beat Michael Johnson, James Vick, Edson Barbosa, and Cerrone. So this is kind of a step up in competition, I would say. He's lost to Justin Poirier and Eddie Alvarez, and his last 10, 0 decisions. So 5 rounds, I would expect a little. I would expect Tony Ferguson by submission. I probably am just going to watch this one though and enjoy.
You know how many times Justin's been submitted, right?
How many?
0. It's either 1 or 0. I can't remember, but that's not a lot. You know what I mean? But I see the angle. I don't see Justin Gaethje taking him down. This is what's going to happen, in my opinion. I think either Justin gets him out in the first 2.5, 3 rounds. If he doesn't, it's Tony Ferguson's fight to lose. I mean, you know what I mean? It really is. I really honestly think that, especially with this short notice and whatnot. I mean, maybe that weight cut that Tony, double weight cut. I don't know why he did that first weight cut. It was trying to prove a point, but I'm not so sure he knew that he had to fight Justin coming up. So might have been a bad decision, but he made weight fine, so I don't think so. But Justin's so damn fucking dangerous in those first 2.5, 3 rounds. But for a fact he's going to be doing everything he can to take him out in those first 2.5, 3 rounds and expending all that energy to the point where we know, Ferg, he gets rocked by Lando Venata. You know what I mean? He gets rocked by guys. You know what I mean? But he's able to survive and then come back and win. So I feel like it's the same story here. I like Justin Gaethje at the plus 160-ish. I think it's at right now, right? What is that, Joey?
Yep, plus 160 to plus 170, plus 180-ish from around there.
I think I would almost bet Gaethje to win in the second or first or second round at really plus odds, and then take him to Ferguson after that. It might be a double bet for me, a little hedge type bet, but to win on both sides. What do you think, Maddie?
I love that. I've been torn on this fight because I like Gaethje to win the first 2. If it goes beyond the first 2, I think Ferguson's going to put his cardio in place and he's just going to start chipping him up, and that's going to be the end. So I'm definitely back and forth between both. I was actually looking at Gaethje in the first or second. I was looking at those because I think they're like plus 400 a round or something like that. So I was definitely looking at those. I mean, obviously, I love the under on this fight, but it's like minus 500, so that's not even there. But other than that, I definitely love I think if I bet anything, it would be probably Gaethje in the first or second round.
Frank, you got anything?
Man, dude, this is a barn burner. This one's a tough one to call. I'm friends with Gaethje. I love him in every single fight, even though he had to fight, Eddie and whatnot. Let me tell you something about Justin Gaethje. That kid is one of the – I don't know what he's got in his bones, but –
he kicks hard too, right?
His kicks hurt so bad. And listen, I've trained with Marlon and Edson for years. Eddie Alvarez.
Harder than Marlon?
What?
Marlon's kicks on Henry look deadly hard.
Let me tell you something. I don't know why they hurt so bad, but he kicked me twice, and my leg was hurt for a month, and that's not exaggeration. When he came and trained with us, he was helping Frankie train for forget what fight, but he's a great kid. But that kid, I don't know what is in his bones, but he hits hard, and that kid has no reverse. So they're both definitely going to the hospital. I definitely see Gaethje winning in 2 or 3 rounds. If it doesn't happen, then it's something crazy till the 5th round. That's how I see it. I would love to see Justin win. I just don't know what kind of camp he put in. I think they're both out of their minds, and Tony is very unstable.
Yeah, he is.
Give up.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just this one is so hard to call. You know, Tony Ferguson is definitely more well-rounded, but he is like uncontrollable chaos. You know what I mean? Like he just started sparring. Like that dude hasn't sparred in 6 or 7 years, and he fights like it.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like he gets hit and he does spin moves, tuck and rolls. He doesn't know where he's at half the time, but it works for him, you know. And Justin's not afraid to get dirty. You know what I mean? So if this fight goes to the ground, I don't know what it's going to happen. You know, could he submit Justin? Yeah, probably. You know, Justin isn't the best on the ground, but he doesn't give up. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is it's going to be 2 rounds of fury from Justin, and whatever happens after that, who the hell knows?
Right. All right. So I think I hit the nail on the hammer on that one. Thank God. Okay. Oh man. I think it's barn burner. Who's up? Are you mad?
Ferguson always gets rocked in a lot of his fights.
He does. He does. Every fight. Every fight.
And it's overlooked. It's overlooked a lot because he wins the fight. So no one goes back to the full point that he was basically rocked and on the ground, rolling around, doing flips and tumbles.
Gaethje too, though.
You know. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But the thing is, he recovers fast.
Yeah.
He's in such good shape. Like that dude's a freak. You know, like now he's a baseball player. I don't know where that came from.
Who was?
Ferguson. Now his warm up is playing catch. You know what I mean? Like with baseball. I don't know where this came from.
I think next fight he's gonna be hula hooping.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the guy's a freak of nature. He's an athlete. He's got some screws loose in his head. But so does Justin. And Justin, I feel, performs better when he's scared, and has like everything against him. But I feel like if Justin hurts him, he could finish him. And I'm telling you right now, watch for the leg kicks, because when he fought Michael Johnson, I said the same thing, and that's the first thing he went to, and that's how he finished Michael Johnson with leg kicks. That's how he started. And even when
Barboza,
when Edson fought him, we trained for the leg kick because I told him, and Edson said, he's like, I remember when we trained with him, his leg kicks do hurt, and he's like, I see him coming, they're there, it's no problem, but they hurt. Same thing with Eddie. And the only reason why Eddie beat him is because Eddie just had a little bit more grit and was just said no. You know what I mean? He just said no. But that fight could have went either way too. You know?
Eddie was on.
I think Tony's well more prepared, but I feel like Gaethje is ready to go.
Yep.
All right, let's go around and do maybe a best bet from everybody.
Mentally screwed, like you were saying. They're both mentally screwed, but I think like Gaethje's mentally screwed in the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He really is, that grit and whatnot. I think it's a great idea, Joey. What do you like the best?
I'm gonna do Souza minus 115.
All right. I'm gonna go with here. My dad and my brother are fighting in the background. You can probably hear them. That's how we do. We're Irish and Italian. Hold on one second. I apologize.
Matt, you got one?
Yes. I'm with you, Joe. I like Souza. I think that's a great play tonight. But I'm not forgetting about Rosa. I like that play too.
You know what?
Roses.
And
that's our plus money play. That could be a plus money play.
Yeah, you're right. That should be the number one plus money play, I think, on the show. I'm liking the Francis and Rosenstruck fight to go to the second round at minus 135.
I like it as well.
The Luque inside the distance, but I can't pick between them.
I like that. I like the Luque one. I got that one starred. I like that.
Do you know what he is by decision? Plus 460 Luque by decision. That's crazy.
Wow.
Anyways.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for watching. You can find me at Joey Werk on Twitter, Instagram. Frank, you want to shout out where you're at and where people can find you?
Yo, Team Frankie Perez on all platforms.
There we go. Hey,
Matty Money with his Twitter account.
No, I don't have a Twitter account yet.
and he's gonna
under the radar.
make Eddie Money too. Make it. Listen, everybody, appreciate you guys for coming. Everybody that watches this, Frankie, thank you so much for coming on. Getting the Fighters Insight is freaking huge. It's a pleasure meeting you. Hopefully, you can come on more. Would you be up for it?
Yeah, let me know. I didn't honestly, like with quarantine and stuff. Maddie and I were just talking. He's like, "Yo, we're talking YouTube fights tonight." I'm like, I want to watch. I want to listen. You know?
All right, cool. Yeah, if you're come on with Joey. If you can get your boy on, man, that'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Because just getting that real edge is huge in this game. We're about making money, and I know you don't gamble, but you can help us make some good decisions sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's do
It's
it.
actually great to have like input from someone that like doesn't just knows fights but doesn't actually gamble or doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm over American Top Team. I roll. I hit pads and stuff like that. I know the guys, but I've never fought a professional or even an amateur fight, so I can't like you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you know, it's what's cool too. Sometimes I know some of these guys personally, and I know how they, you know, talk and react and kind of go about things. So I can tell you who's professional, who's not, who's going in there on a bender, and
That's what I need to know. Who's been drinking that week before? You know, how much he's been eating. Is he banging a chick? Is that chick bother him too much? Is he paying all her bills? I need all that shit. I need the juicy details.
yeah, let me know, man. I'll come on here, chit chat. Next time I'll have a drink wait, and then we can get real crazy.
Salute on that one. Salute. All right, guys, let's wrap this bad boy up. We got UFC 249 tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to check it out. Trust me, it's going to be a great fight, especially the main event and co-main event. Going to be some barn burners. So, all right, guys, let's roll.
Sportsnet, we're out.
Guys, later, Frankie.